Now to the ABC, which is making questionable decisions about where it invests your tax dollars. Turns out some lucky people will be able to earn up to $114,000 plus a generous 15% super contribution for just 6 months of work. So what is this senior high-paying role? Well, the ABC is investing in Chinese spy app TikTok and is spending much of this cash on 4 contracts to generate content across social media platforms that, quote, resonates with Gen Z and millennial audiences. Now, remember when the ABC said it couldn't afford to have a political editor? It made Andrew Probyn redundant in an extremely controversial move. Now, he is a brilliant journalist, and the ABC cut him to save cash. This team of TikTokers, however, will earn top dollar to publish garbage content which has no journalistic merit. It is crazy stuff. To get this prized position, you don't even need a university degree or to be a trained journalist. The job ad says to be competitive, you need the following: over 10k followers or subscribers on TikTok, Instagram or YouTube, created a vertical video with over 100k views or a horizontal video with over 50k views, and demonstrated ability to shoot and edit video. This is the beginning of the end for the ABC. Whoever made this decision should be sacked. What a waste of your money. And if after hearing all of this you still think the move has merit, have a look at the type of content the ABC currently produces for TikTok.
We're sampling fresh, local titty juice. It's so raw, fresh from the teat. Notes of milk. It is quite umami. It tastes more like almond milk because I feel like it's kind of like oilier. And if you're feeding this milk to children instead of adults, there is some evidence that the food you eat can change the flavour of your titty juice.
Tim Blair, are you pleased that hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars are going to go to a department which thinks it's great to produce videos of journalists drinking human breast milk?
Yeah, remember a few years ago when the ABC launched it was a lifestyle channel, a kind of a BuzzFeed rip-off deal, and it had fewer viewers than it had staff. I think this initiative might be trending the same way shortly. Also, I question drawing from the TikTok pool as a winner for the ABC, because TikTok's a very different entity than traditional Australian media or the media that Australians are used to consuming. TikTok isn't that much of an easy crossover, quite aside from it being a commie tool. It might profit the ABC more to look a little outside their TikTok sphere and, I don't know, maybe find the top 5 most engaging McDonald's drive-through operators. They might be a little bit more in tune with the Australian population and what they think. No, seriously, that could actually work. I just made that up off the top of my head, but go for it, ABC. It's yours, copyright free.
Yeah, Tim makes a good point. It's so anti what traditional journalism is. And Darren, you've held very senior roles with digital video, such as the editor-in-chief of Storyful. So you know what you're talking about when it comes to video. Do you think this strategy is going to help the ABC supplement this loss in linear broadcast viewers?
Yeah, I mean, I think this shows a very limited understanding of the process of news coverage and story breaking at what should be the nation's most important media organisation, publicly funded. They've got a charter. I mean, I understand that Andrew Probyn, he was obviously made redundant in Canberra, and his role was absolutely pivotal, and he was a very good journalist as well, really, really solid. It seemed incomprehensible to me that they would make him redundant to fund these TikTok positions. As you said, I worked at Storyful. We didn't really take a lot of content. We didn't take that type of content. It wasn't about lifestyle content. People drinking
Thank God you didn't take that kind of content.
Yeah, the kind of content we were interested in was on the ground, live breaking news coverage on TikTok, Telegram, other social networks from the conflict that was happening in Ukraine, or right now it would be the Middle East. And that content was verified, vetted. It was eyewitness breaking news coverage of missile attacks. I mean, Storyful did a very good job of verifying that the hospital bombing wasn't in fact done by Hamas, and they had that up. And if some of those major news organisations had been subscribing to Storyful and taken their content, they wouldn't have made that error that they did in their reporting in terms of ascribing it to the IDF. But you know, that type of content is really important in terms of enhancing and supporting breaking news coverage. But in some instances, and at the ABC, it should be coming second to the role like that an Andrew Probyn plays in terms of framing.
It's
news
almost as if they're confusing the delivery mechanism, the platform, with the content. They're mixing it up. And as you said, on social media, it is possible to do great reporting. You don't need to publish trash.